Hi everyone, I'm Gemma Stafford, professional chef, host of Bigger Bolder Baking and the very proud brand ambassador for GoodCook. Recently on this channel I have shown you how to make a peach and blueberry crisp, a chocolate mousse in just 10 minutes, and even waffles without a waffle iron. Right now I'm going to share with you a recipe that is perfect for fall. It is an insane chocolate rice pudding. The recipe can be found on goodcook.com along with all of the information about the GoodCook tools that I use. Okay, let's get started in a saucepan. So for my rice pudding, I am using a GoodCook 2-quart non-stick saucepan. Now this is perfect for this recipe and I'll tell you why. Because it is non-stick, it means that your rice doesn't stick to the bottom and you have a lovely smooth rice pudding. Okay, first things first, rice. Now the rice that you choose for rice pudding has to be a starchy rice. So you can use a sushi rice, a Boreo rice. I love Calrose rice. It's nice and starchy and it clumps up, so this is perfect. So go ahead and add that into your pot. So now some people like to wash their rice and that's totally fine, but I tell you why it doesn't work for this recipe. You don't want to wash away the starch. We want that starch. We want this to be lovely and sticky at the end, so there's no need to wash your rice. So the next ingredients that we're adding in is what makes this recipe so special. What we're doing is creating a lovely sauce for our rice pudding. So on top of your rice, we're going to add in some water. And then to make this lovely and creamy, we're going to add evaporated milk. Now, if you don't have evaporated milk, you can always use just regular milk and a little bit of cream. Evaporated milk is a little bit sweet and just a kind of a rich milk, so it's really nice to add to a recipe like this. So you can make evaporated milk really easily at home, and I actually have a video on my website of how to do it. Okay, so into here we're going to add a little bit of sugar, some unsweetened cocoa powder. Now do me a favor, when you're buying unsweetened cocoa powder, buy good quality because it will make all the difference to the finished result of this dish. And then of course, a little bit of butter. And this just makes it a little bit extra creamy. So now what we're going to do is turn it onto a medium heat, give it a little bit of a stir around, then go ahead and put on your lid, and we're slowly going to let this come to a simmer. So chocolate rice pudding is a little bit of a twist on the norm. However, there is a Filipino dish that is a traditional chocolate pudding just like this one. If you're used to a rice pudding that is raisins and cinnamon and all sorts of lovely stuff, that's great. This will knock its socks off. Okay, our mix has come to a simmer. I'm just going to give that a stir around and just break up the rice to make sure it's not in clumps. Then I'm going to put back on the lid, turn it down to a low heat and just let it very gently bubble away there until the rice is tender. For my rice, it takes around 20 to 25 minutes. It might take you a little bit longer, but here's the difference between making a rice pudding and cooking traditional rice. We don't want all of that liquid to evaporate. We want to have that liquid left over because it creates this decadent sauce for our rice pudding. So it's been around 25 minutes. Now come here to me because I want to show you what it looks like. Do you see this? My rice has puffed up, but as I stir it, there's still lots of sauce there. So this is perfect. So right now I'm going to turn it off the heat. I'm going to add in some bittersweet chocolate. Now bittersweet chocolate takes this dessert to a whole other level. So you want something around 70% cocoa solid, nice and dark. And then of course with chocolate you have to have some salt just to bring out all the lovely flavors. And then my favorite, but this is totally optional, if you don't have it you can leave it out, a little splash of vanilla extract. And then just go ahead and stir this all really well together. You'll notice as the chocolate melts, the sauce gets a little bit thicker and it kind of soaks up. Now if you find that your rice pudding is a little bit dry, feel free to add in a little bit more milk in there and that'll be totally fine. I'm a huge rice pudding fan, so this kind of dessert is top of my list. And it's ready to be served, so let's taste some. So every country is different, but in Ireland we like to serve our rice pudding hot. So I'm going to scoop it into a bowl, add a little bit of whipped cream on top, and then because we've come this far, we may as well just go the whole hog and grate over a little bit of extra chocolate. For me, this is comfort food in a bowl. It's like a hug for your soul. This is absolute perfect for when the weather gets cold, it gets a little bit chilly. It's sweet, the rice is amazing. I mean, what more would you want? We all know and love traditional rice pudding, but why not go big and bold this fall and make it chocolatey? I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, head over to goodcook.com for the recipe and lots more information.